And welcome everyone to Metaphysical Communion. This program is titled Psychic Self. This is Season 3, Program 11. So welcome to my friends. Welcome to newcomers out there this evening. My name is DeAngelis Colon. I am the host of Metaphysical Communion, a weekly program that discusses things of the spiritual, metaphysical, a variety of topics and subjects. Every week is something different. Hopefully you'll get to enjoy this program. You can always see it later on. It is being recorded, so you can see it afterward on my page, the Angelus Colon Transpsychic Express, as well on YouTube, on my channel, Metaphysical Communion. So once again, welcome. This beautiful December evening here in New York City. It's clear and bright, but at the same time, it is the new moon, and it's a solar eclipse in Sagittarius, beginning December 3rd through December 4th. So first of all, happy birthday. Happy greetings to all my Sagittarian friends out there. This is your night. This is your moon of the year. So this is your opportunity to manifest all of your wildest dreams, all your projects, all things that you've been thinking about, wanting to get started. This is the moon for you. It's an extremely favorable and positive new moon for you this evening. So you're very fortunate to have this power working with you. And again, new moons begin, or solar eclipses as well, because they pack the power of 3 full moons, or in this case, 3 new moons. So you'll get extra good luck, extra potential for things to work out just the way you want them to be. Manifest, grow, aspire to whatever it is that you wish to achieve. You'll have an entire month to see these things start to happen. If there are changes about at this point, then it may take even up to a month for those changes to make themselves known to you. That is the power of the solar eclipse, the power of the new moon as well. It can take a few days, it can take a few weeks, up to a month afterward for that to start to present itself in your life. So be open and alert. In this case, it's special because we're at the ending of this year, 2021, and beginning the year 2022 with this particular cycle. So lots of wonderful things can happen for you at this time. So just stay aware, be attuned. And this works for all the signs, not just for Sagittarius alone. New beginnings, fresh starts, whenever there is a new moon, especially, new beginnings happen. We're going to see changes perhaps with our male friends, especially because new moons usually denote change for those friends who are of the male gender. So it could be family, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, neighbors, etc. You may notice a big change there for some of them. Also, in some way, some news that may be coming, to them, and then eventually to you. And it can affect even your very life in some way also, hopefully positively. So be aware of that also. But it's all about manifesting the new. And we have Trey. Good evening, Trey. Good to see you here. It's been a while. And thank you for making yourself known to me. And let me just switch now over from the Zoom window where I currently am broadcasting back to Facebook here. So I can see comments and things that come up. There we go. Because in Zoom, I don't see comments. Here I do. So there you are. Excellent. Good to see you here. And we're going to commence our program in another 2 minutes or so. Like I said, it's being recorded, luckily. So if you missed some portion of it, you can see it later on right here on my page or else on YouTube. So tonight's program is going to focus on psychic self, on really getting to know who your psychic self is, what it is to really mean to connect, with spirit. But more importantly, it's really connecting with yourself, your energy, getting to know you, how you can raise your energy, get familiar with your own personal power to be able then to connect with spirit. So this is a little bit of a different perspective here than the usual, let's say, psychic development class or workshop. I did one of those about a year ago or so. Actually, I presented a program on that, on, let's say, more psychic development and using tools that you could utilize to, connect, strengthen those connections. Tonight's program is going to be more about, going within and seeing yourself and seeing what it means for you to really be able to establish, a relationship with spirit. And it all starts with you and what you need to do, what you need to know about yourself, how you need to feel, think, your own views and perspectives about your connections with spirit and higher power. We will be touching upon certain techniques, of course, as well, in order to grow, advance yourself in these areas. So you'll be hearing some things that you've heard before, even from myself in previous programs, because all part of this, it's all part of getting to know yourself, developing, expanding your energy, bringing it outwardly for a greater and stronger connection, and getting to know yourself more too, building confidence, building familiarity with what this is about, because that will only help to enhance and bring the relationship with spirit closer with you. I did this lecture many years ago, actually, back at one point at the Eyes of Learning, metaphysical organization that I belong to since 2002. And actually, in November of 2022, in another year, I will be celebrating my 20th anniversary as a member of the Eyes of Learning. So that's really something, as it's been 20 years. It's incredible. Right now, it's a little over 19 years, because again, it was November 2002 that I first went to my first event there, which happened to be also the beginnings of my working as a professional psychic. And that's where it all started for me, at the Eyes of Learning. So it's always been a very special place for me. I've made some wonderful friends there throughout these years. Some who are still there, we're still connected. Unfortunately, some who have passed on, including our wonderful, co-founder of the Eyes of Learning, legendary Elaine Resnick, who was so instrumental in helping me get started with working professionally. So I always, mention, her and some of the other people that have been there from the past who really paved the way for the Eyes of Learning to become the largest metaphysical organization of Long Island. So they were always very wonderful to me, encouraging, having faith that I could do this and grow and expand. And after 19 years professionally, I think I've been doing pretty well and hope to do even more, because you never stop. You never stop learning. When it comes to the spiritual, there's always something new coming from the other side that will always open your eyes and make you see, there's more to know, more to learn, more to put out there, for everyone else to learn, from. Hello, Marianne, how are you? Good to see you here as well. And Marianne is a friend of mine from the Eyes of Learning, so especially meaningful that she's here this evening. As I was talking a moment ago, it's about, the people that you meet there, the connections, like-minded individuals. So many people that have spoken there, that have attended those meetings there. As I said, we mentioned Elaine Resnick, the co-founder of the Eyes of Learning, as well as some of the other, prime members, as I'll call them, original members there. Ed Schertzer, who unfortunately passed away. Betty Bain, who was the founder of the Angel Network. And Betty was a very marvelous person. I mean, she was at 92 years of age and still driving, to meetings once a month or even twice a month there. And she passed away in her mid-90s or so a while back. And other wonderful people that were there, Florence, Ed, as well, who was there, and just some marvelous people, and some who are still affiliated with our group there, also Polly, who is there, also Teresa, as well. Bob is still there, of course, Marianne, as well, too. And a lot of people, I'll mention them along the way in the course of the evening. But that's where I first got my start at the Eyes of Learning. So I'm celebrating my 19th year as a member there, and as well as working professionally as a psychic, also. So from there, I did this lecture. At the time, I called it Manifesting Your Psychic Power. So we'll be touching upon a lot of what I've lectured previously. I also did this lecture at another organization or group in Long Island called Metaphysical Meeting of the Minds as well too. And that was in the mid 2000s or so, early to mid 2000s. I spoke there a number of times also. And that was a group for people who were really wanting to learn also about spirit and what they needed to do to grow. It was very much a beginner's group. And there a variety of people would come and speak there once a month as well, or I think it was once a month or once a week or so, and it was once a week, because this was at a high school in Long Island, Valley Stream High School, or junior high school, actually. And it was started by the co-founder, actually, of the Queen's Psychic Club, a psychic medium, Virginia Rose. So she started that group there in Long Island for people who were interested in learning more about the metaphysical. So Virginia Rose, started this group, and it was there at that school in evening classes. It's a part of continuing education for adults mainly. And they would hold their once a week sessions there. And Virginia Rose was the first person to facilitate, that group. Then after a while, she went on to do some other things. If I remember correctly, I think for one season or so, the other co-founder of the Queen's Psychic Club, legendary Bob Cecilio, ran the group. For at least, I think, 1 or 2 semesters or so there, which is basically 1 year, one season, there also. From there, Bob was very busy because he was running the Queen's Psychic Club. So he really couldn't tend to that, on a regular basis that way. So from there, it was taken over by another wonderful psychic medium, Debbie Burke. And Debbie, ran, the group there, for a number of years also. Metaphysical Meeting of the Minds, but then she had other things come up for her eventually after a few years and didn't have the time to devote to that. So she asked one of the, I do believe, students who became very proficient in metaphysics and very astute and things of this nature. So she asked then esoteric astrologer Linda Giuliano to take over Metaphysical Meeting of the Minds. So Linda indeed did that. And she ran the group for a number of years also there at the high school. And she was the one who invited me to come several times to speak and to do workshops, there in the course of her, tenure. And then at one point, Linda had to leave, she moved away from Long Island. So at that point, they were looking for someone else to take over, that group. And then Linda had asked me if I would have been interested in running Metaphysical Meeting of the Minds. I would have loved to have done it, but unfortunately was not able to for 2 reasons. Number one, this was usually done, I do believe, Monday evenings at 8 o'clock or so, from 8 to 9:30, I think it ran. And I work in the city of Manhattan. So it would have been a bit of a challenge for me to get out of work, and I work full time, obviously, and race over here to to Queens, where I live, and then hop in the car and then get to Valley Stream, in time, for the meeting. Because as we know, New York traffic is legendary in itself. And whether it's the MTA, the subways and the buses, and then, the highways, it could have been very difficult for me, a lot of times to get there on time. And since this was a class in continuing ed, in a middle school, it was of the essence that it had to be started, on time, there every week. So I had my commitment to work, obviously, so I just couldn't take the chance that I wouldn't be able to make it there, at times. So I had to decline, unfortunately, from doing that one. But this was a lecture that I did, do there. You can see that I even kept, if you can see this on the screen, the flyer that I created, for the classes, the workshops that I did, there. So I still keep, that with me. And I'll be using that a little bit, as a template for tonight's, lecture here. And as well as a presentation that I created also on PowerPoint as well, to help along the way, to make it more visually enticing, for you. So let's get started with psychic self. So as I said earlier, it's about getting to know your energy, getting to know your psychic self, basically, in order to be able to connect successfully with spirit. I remember a while ago, I saw a video from a psychic medium in England by the name of James Twycross. James is a member, of, the name escapes me all of a sudden, but he's a member of the prestigious school in England, there. Whenever I do lectures, like my mind tends to wander sometimes, I just get brain freeze at times. The Finlay College of Metaphysical Sciences, there. The Arthur Finlay College, it just came to me, thank goodness. So James is one of the teachers, one of the instructors there. The Finlay College is world renowned as one of the premier, schools for psychic development. And it is located near London, England. So James was a student there, and he graduated there, obviously, and he became a teacher, one of their instructors there. He's a very highly respected psychic medium in England and internationally. So James loves to teach, and we've been gifted with many videos that he's been able to provide for us to be able to learn from him, since he's very well aware that not everyone can travel to England and spend a week or so at Finlay College, at Stansted Hall, as it's also known, there to take courses in person. He's been very gracious and very generous in videotaping many of his lectures and providing them on YouTube. So you can always catch, his lectures. He has a whole page, a channel for James Twycross, there, that you can connect and learn tremendously from a very gifted medium. So a while ago, I was watching one of his instructional videos, and he was telling about what made those mediums from the past, the very well-known international mediums from long ago, so gifted with such incredible abilities to connect with spirit in such a powerful way that they could have a conversation with them. They could read, for people so beautifully and provide such incredible evidence, names, places, descriptions of experiences, personality traits of what they looked like, experiences from the past, for those who came for readings for them with such accuracy. And they were astounding individuals, many who are so famous, their names still, resound today. We have people such as Estelle Roberts, for instance. And I'm saying, again, I get brain freeze sometimes when I'm doing these lectures, so please forgive me. I know who they are. It's just for some reasons I'm speaking here, their names start to disappear, certain information starts to disappear from, but it'll come. I'm seeing his face as I'm telling you, and I can't recall his name right now. But such world-renowned mediums who studied at Stansted Hall, at Arthur Finlay College, and became incredible teachers there. And they were absolutely world-renowned in their gifts, and they had astounding abilities. And they were able to connect so beautifully with spirit. And James was telling about what made these people so gifted, so highly attuned, to spirit. And how is it that it doesn't seem that people of today or many mediums don't have that same strength, that same connection with spirit as those people did, back then? And from what he learned from some of them that fortunately he got to know, and those that are, students of theirs that he has, connected with and has studied with, has become friends with, and they would tell him stories about those incredible people, those incredible friends and teachers that they had. What James said, and which was struck to me the most, was that those people had such a devotion to spirit. They were so genuine with their care, with their studies, with their connections. They really gave a lot of themselves, to their gift. Their faith, their belief in spirit was unshakable. It was such a powerful connection that they had. They were so open, so giving. They just surrendered to spirit. And even though many of them took a long time to learn how to become that way, how to do that, it wasn't easy for many of them. They had to take years and years of classes, of experience. Some of them came from families who were gifted psychically. A number of them had parents that were grand, mediums, grand psychics, so it was something that came from their family lineage. But they had to learn, from their parents or from their family members who were gifted. It would take years of learning, years of devotion, years of discipline, hours and hours for them to develop those skills, those abilities. No matter how naturally gifted they were, they still had to put in the time, but they also had to believe, and they had to really be devoted, to spirit, and truly be open and surrender, and not think that it was their ego or their gifts or whatever, but really be open and just receive and establish a relationship with spirit. And they did, and they were able to do that with a lot of hard work and a lot of effort, but they were able to do that. They had to get to know their own power, their own energy. That was part of that as well. They had to know what was in them to be able to do this. They had to believe that they could do this. They had to get familiar with themselves, with their own energy, and get to learn how to work with it. So it was faith, it was trust, it was belief, but it was also tapping into their inner selves to see and to feel their own energy and to work with that energy, to become familiar and comfortable with it in order for them to finally be able to expand that outwardly and to establish relationship with those on the other side, with spirit, through just pure openness and pure belief and determination that they could do it and that they can do it. And they did. So it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time for many to be able to get to that point. So how does one get to know one's energy? That's learning to be comfortable with oneself, having faith in oneself, learning, getting a sense of your own life force. It's hard to describe how to do that and how to feel that, because only you know what your energy is. I can tell you, many instructors and teachers can tell you, this is what you need to do. For some people in the beginning, they're going to wonder how or what. I feel myself, I know I have energy, this and that, but how and in what way? Hello, Pauline, good to see you here as well. Thank you for being here. But how does one know and learn how to tap into one's own energy? How to get familiar with that, how to work with that, how to raise that life force. It takes effort. You got to feel your energy. Basically, it's the best way I can describe it to you. See how you are. See how strong you are. See how vibrant you are, how alive you are, how clear you are with things, how strong, how effervescent. I know those are just words, but you just got to feel yourself, basically. Easier said than done, obviously, but that's the way. You got to see who you are. You got to know who you are. You got to know your energy. You got to see how you think, your perspective to things. Are you someone who doubts a great deal? Are you someone who's very positive? That all plays into all of this as well. How strong are you as a person? Not just physically, but I mean internally. How can you raise your energy if you feel that you're someone who feels that you're kind of like a bit, let's say, laid back, not the most energetic, or so you may feel that you are. What do I need to do to raise that? Doesn't mean that you have to become, a pistol of power and be like, like a live wire. Doesn't mean that at all. You don't have to be something that you're not. Sometimes the most passive looking people, the most quiet and serene people who seem to be very at peace all the time or very calm can be the most powerful individual you could ever know. So don't think that it's because you have to be like, I have to feel, incredibly omnipotent. I have to like feel I'm so alive and feel like I'm exciting. Not at all. Not at all. If that is your personality trait, that's fine. But if that is not, that doesn't mean that you can just be just as strong and powerful by being a person who is more sedate, more calm in their presentation, in the way they think, in the way they handle things. You can still be just as alive and just as strong and just as vibrant and just as present by being that way as someone who seems to be more animated and more, more electric, let's put it that way. So it's all about tapping into your energy, seeing your life force, seeing how present you are, and having the strength to really be open and not be afraid of not being able to do this, to connect, to be, to blend with spirit. It's just about being open, relax. Believe it or not, relaxation is a key factor here. Even though you have to work for it, but you got to relax and just be open for spirit to come. That's all part of this experience. So with that one, it's just tapping into yourself. Discipline, fortitude, don't give up. If this is what you're meant to be and meant to do, if it really means tremendously, I have to connect with spirit, I just have to connect on a psychic level, on a mediumship level, on a healer level, energy level. If you really put in that effort, belief that you're going to do that, and you will do it, the universe answers and will give you what you want. You just have to have faith in the universe, and it will be. I've said that in many different ways, throughout my programs here, throughout the year and a half that I've been doing these, these programs, these shows here. And that's key, there. So let me look at my notes here for a pinch. So it's about energy, and it's about tapping into your energy. It's another way of looking at it, feeling it within, and just raising it. What I've been saying to you, how to manipulate your energy, development and manipulating your energy for empowerment, for self and also for others, because you want to project that energy also to help others as well. And that's a lot that has to do you know, with spirit. It isn't just about yourself and developing and connecting and how wonderful, blah, blah, blah. You want to be able to have that energy to help others and to provide to them when they need support, when they need upliftment, when they need encouragement. That's what's being working with spirit is all about. It isn't just for the self alone. So energy is energy and it transfers in many different ways. So moving along from there, let me go into my Zoom window so I can share screen for a pinch here. And as you can see, here is my presentation. And I'm just going to move that a little bit here so we can make that more visually appealing for you as well. Let's see if I can move that along here. Very good. Excellent. So here we go. So we're here. Just make sure that I have this, you know, looking just the way it needs to look. So excuse me as I work with this a bit here. And let's see, hold on a second. Let's see. As I'm looking here, let's see. I don't want to play too much because I don't want it to disappear either. So this is fine here. So you can see what you need to see. So welcome to my opening page, first of all, on Psychic Self. And we'll move forward from there. So, as I've said many times in the past, meditation is the backbone of spiritual connection, of blending with spirit. So it's very, very true. It places the self in the state of being present. How do you achieve that? It's by relaxation and focus. It's expanding your energy outwardly. You want to expand yourself outward to make that connection. You got to know your power. And in essence, you have to become one with spirit because you are part of spirit already. It's just learning how to branch out from your energy self, from this physical core that we are encased in, and branching out. We are all spirit living in a physical existence. But remember, if we didn't have spirit, if we weren't that spark of energy, that spark of consciousness, this physical alone without it would be nothing. Nothing. It'd just be slumped over. No life, no animation. This is just a housing that we have here on this earth, on this planet, on this plane of existence that keeps our consciousness, our spirit selves contained in order to be able to exist here in this dense physical dimension. But without this, our energy, our consciousness continues, moves on. This is just temporary. This is just a housing, just to keep it in place here, that's all. We don't cease to exist once the housing demise. All right, we continue. We move on to the next plane. We will all see it once again in time. But in the meantime, our consciousness can connect back to spirit. Not the same way if you're actually there, obviously, but we can still connect with the spirit energies, with the higher realms, with those on the other side. Meditation helps with that. You can reach out and communicate and receive from that other side. I've always said it, meditate as much as you can on a daily basis if it's possible, at least 3 times a week, even for 10 minutes at a stretch. And you will see the results. Don't be, disappointed if it doesn't work out quite the way you like it from the start. I've said that so many times. So many of us have said that so many times. Keep at it. Determination is everything. We're working, we're connecting with spirit and our energy side. Tenacity and focus, discipline, and in time, you will connect. So it is of essence to meditate in order to really get more familiarity with the spiritual energies, tapping into your own energy, getting to know how you are, how you feel as a person, as a spirit, getting to see what your energy is like, getting to see what your mind is like during meditation, seeing what needs to be fine-tuned, what needs to be tweaked in order to get your energy to be set, present, and to be your true self. We'll start with there. The chakras, of course, you've got to get to know and be attuned to your chakras. The 7 main chakras, always the most important, beginning with your first chakra at the base of your spine, the red chakras, it's known. They are energy wheels. Chakra is a Sanskrit word, meaning wheel or vortex. Let's see. So you can certainly do your meditations and focus on your chakra. I'm looking at Trey's here question here for a bit. Yes, Trey, you can do a number of those things. It's best to start simply with just deep breathing meditation, because you want to get to know your breath. Breath is life after all. Breath is the connection. So you want to make sure that your breath is normal. It is just breathing at a regular pace. Some of us may breathe faster than others or more excitable than others. It's just about getting the breath to be in its normal state of health. Kundalini, that's a little bit more complicated. I wouldn't recommend for people to start focusing on a meditative practice by starting to do Kundalini meditation. Kundalini, which is part of the first chakra, by the way, is very powerful, very strong. And you have to know how to connect with that energy before you could really have a practice with meditation with that, because it can be very powerful and it could just run amok. And it could cause more problems than you're willing to face if you're a new beginner to this process, if you're starting with energy work. So Kundalini is something that certainly you can read about. If you connect with someone who has the experience, another meditation teacher, a yogic teacher or so, who knows about Kundalini energy, it's best, to study with someone who has the experience and the knowledge of handling Kundalini energy. That is the wisest thing to do. That is the safest way to go with working with that particular energy, because Kundalini is the start of these energies. It is your primal energies, your instinct. It moves upward, up your spine, because the chakras work on the spine. Always remember that. So they're located in different areas. They're up your spine in different regions of your body. The Kundalini, which is the red, the first chakra, the root chakra, as it's also more familiarly known, is the energy that starts up and then builds upward and powers the other chakras, gets them spinning, gets them moving so that it can move outward, from there. So it is essential, to get to know your chakras, get to learn about them first. And from there, you have to align your chakras. So you got to know where they're located, what they are, what each meaning is. As you see, I have a chart up here that details the chakras, and it starts from your root chakra, which is the base of your spine, there, which is the red chakra, the first chakra, the root, as it's known. That's instinct, survival, and security, is the primal force, what gets everything started from the beginning, up and running. Your birth chakra. Moving upward to your second chakra, which is the orange one, and that is located just below the navel. That is the abdomen, area there. And that chakra deals with your emotions, your feelings, your sexual energy. It is the creative force, also. So the red and the orange are very closely aligned in that way. The beginnings, the start of life, and the energies that are there, the reproductive self, also. So that is where you feel a great deal. You move upward to the third chakra, which is the yellow chakra, known famously as the solar plexus. That has to do with mental functioning, as it says here, power, control, freedom to be oneself. It is also the chakra where you receive psychic energy, where you feel things a great deal. And many practitioners, psychics, mediums, healers will tell you about the feeling of the solar plexus, which is right there by your navel area also, there, and that is where you feel your stomach area. So when people say they have butterflies in their stomach because something has affected them emotionally, whether it's through fear, embarrassment, or so, or just in euphoria even, they will feel it in their solar plexus region. So that is a very important chakra to work with when you're working metaphysically, because this is the energy where you start to receive, where you feel things. A lot of people may not even realize that psychically, when they pick up things or they get a sense of things, it's actually they're feeling it from their solar plexus. It may feel that it's really above or their senses are all over or so, but they're getting a strong sense here in their yellow, their solar plexus chakras, receiving that energy. So you also have to know how to protect yourself as well too, from negative energies, because that it can infiltrate through there and then affect elsewhere. So it's very important about protecting yourself when you are doing your meditation and your chakras also. And that, of course, is using the white light. So before you do a meditation practice, if you're working with your chakras as well, focus the white light around you for protection. It will always work. All you have to do is have faith that it will work 100%, and that will be. So you work with that chakra there for that type of energy. Moving to the fourth chakra, which is the green or pink chakra, this is the heart chakra, the heart energy. That talks about your emotions as well, love, balance, your concern for relationships, compassion, your feelings for others. You feel as well your emotions in your heart area. It is either green or pink. This is your concern for love for others, for wanting to heal others as well. The color green is a very healing color, also. So this is your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts that come into that. Very strong as well for your psychic work in regards to devotion, generosity, giving. Moving to the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra, the blue chakra, located right here, actually, by your throat area here, right near your voice box. So sometimes when that area is blocked, or so we may start to cough or even choke a bit, especially when we're doing psychic work. So sometimes people are going to meditation and all of a sudden they start to cough a bit, or they start to feel something in their throat. They have to clear their throat. That's because what's happening is as you're meditating, and especially if you're focusing in that area, that chakra, that wheel is being more activated. So it's starting to clear any pent-up energies that are there, anything that's blocked, stuck. It's your communications chakra, speech. If your self-expression, for instance, is blocked, if there's something that you're holding on to for God knows how long that you have been either afraid to or unable to speak about verbally, this chakra will start to activate and you can start feeling those energies there. It's about learning to be expressive, having confidence in what you're saying, but confidence and losing the fear of saying something that could be uncomfortable for you to reveal. And that helps to get that out. It can be very therapeutic in releasing what you may have had inside of you for forever. It's just learning how to do it right, and being prudent and mindful is essential, with that. So that way it is a healing experience for you or for others. So again, it's just being mindful before you speak. So that is the fifth chakra, the wheel, the blue energy, which is also very healing as well, because you can heal through words as well. And energy, your words carry energy also. It's what you put out. It can be very healing. Moving upward, we have our sixth chakra, which is the third eye chakra, the color indigo. That is located here, right between your eyebrows, right here at the center, not really the center of your head, but usually here between the base here, between your eyebrows. That is where your indigo chakra is, your third eye. That is known as the psychic eye as well, psychic vision. This is where people pretend to see things, visualizations, clairaudience, not clairaudience, clairsentient, not even that. Again, I'm getting a little bit confused. When I do lectures, my words start to fumble a bit. You have your clear sense of seeing, through there. So that's when people say they see visions, they see through their third eye. This is the location of that. That's their third eye chakra, their indigo chakra, right there. So that is where psychic senses are projected forth. So in regards to seeing things, projecting energy, healing energy, the third eye chakra is the projector. So remember that the solar plexus chakra, your yellow chakra, located near your navel area, is the receptive chakra for psychic energies, or so. You receive energies from there. The indigo, the third eye chakra, located here at the base, at the center of your forehead practically, is where the energy projects outwardly. That is used for healing, for seeing, for visualizations, for connecting with spirit. It is one of the processes that is utilized for psychic and mediumship work. So a very important chakra also for working and connecting with spirit, also. Finally, our seventh chakra is our crown chakra, violet, at the top of your head. That is the chakra that connects the physical with the spiritual. So indeed, is understanding and knowing. It is the spiritual connections, the bridge between the physical world and the metaphysical worlds. It is the oneness, the connection to establish for spirit and for energetic healing and work, etc. The mind, the brain, the higher source, the higher chakra, right at the top of your head, usually in violet, sometimes a lavender color. That is where that wheel is located there for that connection. It's making sure that your chakras are aligned properly. As you can see here through this chart, this is a proper alignment of the chakras, and when they're all working right, you want them to be clear, you want them to be spinning properly, and you want those colors working in this proper alignment. You don't usually want one chakra being stronger than the other. Basically, and you certainly don't want your chakras to be blocked or not spinning normally as they should, because that is a blockage and that creates problems, not just for psychic connections, for your psychic self, but just for living in this world in general. It causes complications, sluggishness, heaviness, confusions, problems, discomfort within the self. mind, body, and spirit. So you want to make sure that your energies are working properly, evenly, in alignment, and that they're all spinning clearly without any problems. So that is a connection for you with spirit also. Energy sources to utilize for spiritual work. This is getting to your psychic self, because this is where you have the opportunity to feel your energies as you work with them, and as you can project them outwardly or receive inwardly as well. I call them your palm chakras, which is the energy centers for self-healing, but also for projecting, for healing others. So this is where Reiki work is done. Reiki practitioners, healers work with their energy. They use their palm centers, their energies. We have chakras here in our palms. We have many chakras in our whole system that we utilize for various things. Our 7 main chakras are the ones we're most known because they are the most strongest. They are the ones that work out in connecting. But we have other points, other chakras elsewhere, and we certainly have them in our palms, because this is where we do a lot of our healing work, from. So it's receiving energy from spirit and divine forces. You have to get a feeling of that energy, how to use and how to feel that energy, also. And this is a good way to learn how to do this. So get to know your energy, your self-power. It's with self-balance, as I say here. If you're a Reiki practitioner, you know what I'm talking about. For those who are interested in that, you can learn, get yourself with an instructor. Yes, there are many sources in the internet that can teach you Reiki, and you can see the symbols there, etc. But it's not the same. It's not going to be successful. The best way to learn Reiki is with a Reiki instructor, a Reiki practitioner, a master. There are people out there that you can connect with that can teach you directly about working with Reiki. They can empower you with Reiki energy. You have to learn from a Reiki master in order to become a Reiki practitioner. So I advise that if you're interested in doing healing work, and especially in using this medium of healing work, Reiki, you must learn directly from a Reiki master. It is truly the only way that you truly will learn how to work with the Reiki energy. I was lucky that I had, teachers, Reverend Victor Furman and Jill Bauman, who were Reiki masters for years, and I was able to learn with them. I attended classes, with them, and I became, certified as a Reiki practitioner and Reiki master, with them. And in the years afterward, I used, my Reiki teachings. You've been a Reiki master for 27 years. How wonderful, Marianne. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, girl, wow. You're super impressive. If I ever need an attunement, I'll know who to come to for sure. And we do have to get attuned from time to time for other Reiki masters. So that's good to know. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And so it's best to always learn with a Reiki. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you. And it's always best to learn, from a person. You must learn from a teacher, not just from reading a book or looking in the internet. It's not the same. It will never be the same. Once you connect with people and you do it, thank you, Marianne. That is the way you get to know your energy. You will get a sense. They have to attune you into becoming a Reiki practitioner. It is done directly. So always remember that. And then later on, you can certainly attune yourself. And in time, you learn to practice, which I have. I had practice in healing others, using, the Reiki, the symbols and the Reiki energy always worked to heal others and to heal yourself and to empower yourself also. And it's about tapping into that energy source in order to heal others. Remember, the more you work with manipulating your energy, the more psychic experiences you will have. That is guaranteed. It is using the energetic muscles, the psychic muscles, in order to grow, to expand your energy. Again, get to know your energy. A simple exercise you can use to get started with that is simply take your hands, focus your energy in your palms. Focus and feel the energy in your palm centers. As you see the depiction here, you have the hands coming together. Focus and visualize a ball of white light. That is what energy basically is. It's a good visual to use, a white light. Focus a ball of energy in between your hands. Feel the energy coming from your palms, from the centers of your palms. Those are your palm chakras. Feel that energy as you do this. The closer you bring your hands, you'll notice a force of energy in between. That is your energy. See what that energy feels like. Does it feel very strong? Does it feel very light? Does it feel dense? Does it feel warm? Does it feel cool even? Play with that energy. Visualize that ball of energy, because that is you. Play with that. Make a practice of it so that you can become familiar with feeling your own energy. This is a basic way of doing it. Very simple. But you'll feel yourself. You'll feel your energy. Work with that. Expand that ball. Move your hands closer together. See if they become stronger. You feel that energy getting stronger, more dense. Pull away. See how that feels. Do you still feel that energy? Move your hands farther away. See if you still feel that energy to some extent. Does it feel lighter? Does it feel stronger? Does it feel weaker? As you move your hands closer, do you feel that energy in between? Does it get stronger? That's what usually happens, especially at the beginning. As you pull away, do you still feel energy? You still feel that energy even more than you did previously? Move your hands back and forth a few times. Get familiar with that energy. Get a sense of it. So when you do start feeling it and get familiar with your energy, get to know it, when you pull away again, you'll feel it more. It'll be denser, farther away than it was at the beginning. That's you getting to know yourself, getting to work and manipulate your energy. It may take time for some of you out there if you're not used to this. If this is your first time doing this, you may be wondering, oh my God, I really feel this. I do feel something. Work with it. This is a way to start knowing your energy, knowing what you can do with yourself. You can heal yourself with your energy. But get a sense of that. See that light, see that ball of light. Visualize. Visualization is a very powerful tool to work with the metaphysical. Visualization manifests into reality when it's done right, when it's done sanely, when it's done with belief. And watch what happens as you work with your energy, get to know it. Getting to know yourself and what your capabilities are this way, what you can do for yourself. And then later on, you can project that energy outwardly and project it to others for help, for healing, and to give light. I am sending my energy out to you right at this very moment. What do you feel? Do you sense anything from me? Do you feel an energy coming toward you? That's the power of energy. It is limitless. It can reach through miles and miles. It can go through technology. You can send it mentally. You can work with it in person. You can transmit it, and others will feel it even from the other side of the world, as long as you have intent and belief. Energy is forever. Feel that energy coming to you. All right, I'll answer your question later, Trey. So, energy is everything, and that energy is what you tap into to develop yourself, your energetic self, your psychic self, to grow and to learn and to manifest. Connecting and knowing who your spirit guides are is also of essence in working with your psychic self. For your spirit guide, those guardians who are out there who are watching over you or so, they have been there with you from the beginning, and you may not even be aware of it. They are there. Everyone has guides, I assure you. And there can be more than one for each person. Those people, we will call them people in spirit. They can be family, friends, acquaintances, people that you didn't even know in your lifetime here. But they can be your guardians, your protectors, and at times your guides. They are a bridge to your connection to spirit. Get to know who they are. How do you do that? Going back once again to meditation. Once you become more proficient with meditation, the next step, or one of the next steps you can take, is to connect with your spirit guides, with your guardians, with those who are watching over you from the other side. You go into meditative state and you start to speak to them. You connect, you communicate with them. You ask them who they are. You ask them what their purpose is in being your guardian, in being your guide. And in time, you will receive your answers. They will let you know who they are. They will tell you their purpose for being with you. You will know it. Your guide can be a primary in helping you to achieve your goals for actualizing your psychic self. But they can also help you with other aspects of your life as well. In time, as you get more attuned to them and you establish a relationship with them, they can assist you with your problems, with your concerns, with hopefully advising in their way through inspiration. How to solve your concerns, your questions, your problems. But you have to establish that connection with your guides, with your protectors, with your guardians. It takes you, yourself, your energy in order to do that. They cannot do it all alone. You cannot just sit there or just be in the kitchen, cooking, and then raise up and say, oh, spirit guide, please tell me who you are or whatever, and make minimal effort. You have to establish a discipline and a practice to connect with them, to really build a relationship. You have to give them your attention, your full attention. And that is the way how you will start to see and connect with those loved ones, those relationships that are there, connecting and watching over and helping you in your life. That's another way of building your psychic self and your psychic connections. I'm looking here once again through my notes. Of course, we spoke about protection. Whenever you work with anything of this sort, you must always have your protection. As I said earlier, surround yourself in the white light. It is your greatest protection. Genuine intent is essential and will always work for you. Necessary for proper opening and connection with the spirit light and with your spirit self, also. When you are in a state of working with spirit, whether through meditation, whether through connection, whether through communication, whether through mediumship, in essence, you are going in an alpha state. So it's important and necessary to open, to raise your vibration, to move consciousness to the psychic level and mediumship connection. If you wish to go into the mediumship range of establishing relationship with spirit. My friend, psychic medium Ram Weber, Dr. Ram Weber, taught a class which I attended years ago. And one of the important elements that she described during her teaching was that a meditative state should happen in no longer than 25 seconds. So once you enter into a meditative state, are really present and focused in that, it shouldn't take more than 25 seconds to start getting into that state properly. Open the door, asking directly for help, guidance, and information. It starts that way. Always go with your first impression in all psychic work. It is all right to be wrong at times. One will not always get all information right. Don't be discouraged by that. This happens to everyone, even the great psychic mediums. I've said this many times in the past as well. They don't always get it right. If one feels blocked, this too happens at times. And that happens to a lot of us, especially when we're beginning with all of this. Some people get so blocked and so frustrated, they just give up. And they just don't continue. They give up completely, or they start again, and then they get frustrated and they move away from it, and they start again. And then a while later, even years later, they want to go back into it. They just get so frustrated with this that they just don't continue properly the right way with this, or just give up completely. Always remember, this means that something important is happening to you. This, once again, comes from Dr. Ram Weber. It is something important that is happening by being blocked. Delve into yourself. See what is that blocks you. Work on removal of doubt, fear, trying too hard, lack of experience. That is essential. That's the most important message you can receive here this evening in regards to this. Always be kind to self. That is the utmost. Always be nurturing and loving to yourself. Keep working and developing your psychic energy, your psychic self, your abilities. Practice and reorganizing the feeling, the essence of psychic energy, the essence of your psychic self. Recognize the feeling of your psychic self will help you to develop greater accuracy and connection with spirit. But that's becoming comfortable with you. Knowing you. Getting the feeling of your energy, yourself. Getting confident with yourself and your energy. working with you. If you feel that you need more strength or more energy in that way, then you have to focus and concentrate on that. But don't force it. Build and grow your energy lovingly and with kindness. Psychic self is connection with soul and with energies within and around you. Know what works with you. Experience, expand, and reach level of true connection. Then go on to other areas of interest that you wish to explore and commence working on familiarizing yourself with those methods and energy. In time, you will achieve the desired connection with your psychic self, your own energy. It takes time, effort. You may get disappointed. You may get, flustered and frustrated and you want to give up, but you have to continue. You have to persevere in order to achieve the goal of empowering your psychic self. Always. From my friend Josephine Diringeli, super psychic medium extraordinaire, belief and confidence is essential, is what you need. From the very gifted and wonderful psychic medium Paula Monti, who I learned a great deal from long ago when I first started working with spirit back in 2002, professionally, 2002, 2003. She was one of the first psychic mediums I worked with in some of the psychic clubs and psychic fairs that I started to work at during that time period. Paula Monti is a very gifted and legendary psychic medium internationally and from Long Island. She used to give lectures at some of these psychic fairs. I attended them. One of the first things I learned from one of her lectures was, you have to know it. How do you use your energy? How do you know that you can connect? How do you know the things that come to you, experiences that happen to you are real? They're just not a figment of your imagination? You have to know it. How do you work with spirit, with energy? How do you expand your energy and have faith and confidence that it works? You have to know it. You have to know that you have that energy, that you can do this, that it is yourself. You know that this is all real. You know that you have that energy within you to work with your energy, to work with spirit, that you can connect in whatever way that you wish to use your energy. You have to know it. You have to know that it's real and that it is. And that's what it takes to do it. Intuition. Go with your first feeling, your first impression always. Don't think, don't second guess it. Don't let your left brain interfere. Go with your first impression. Open your mind and self. Imagination is the start for visualization, always, always. What feels, looks real increases with what is real. Stay grounded in reality always as you do this work, as you get connected with psychic self. Reality and groundedness is as essential. When you're going into visualizations, into connecting with spirit, you have to be real. No thinking that this is, I'm thinking, I'm not sure, I don't know. Don't go off into fantasy where you're thinking you're becoming world's greatest psychic just because you've had one or two hits or whatever and think, oh, this is marvelous. And everything that I say comes through. Not at all. You have to stay grounded in reality. Be real, concrete. Take off those rose-colored glasses. That's all they are, rose-colored. That doesn't mean that it's real. You have to make sure that what you're connecting with and what you're seeing and what you're hearing or whatever you feel in whatever way, smell, taste, feel, whatever, is genuine and true. Let go of the left brain, the logical side of things. Trust in you. To work with spirit, surrender. Don't force it. Build your energy. Tap into your source. And that's how it goes from there. There are certain quotations here that I have. I hope that you can see them. Let me read them to you to help to inspire you for your own energy. How do you develop your psychic abilities? Well, to begin with, naturally, you have to want to and believe that it is possible. If you are psychic, you will become much more aware of the beauty of life. If you are psychic, when you look at a rose, you will see and feel the essence of that rose. The light you spread is powerful. Remember that. This is to inspire you. If you don't fully understand what this means exactly, that is your work to do. To learn what these things mean, what and how you feel. Look at those words again. And then start to really explore deep within what this means. That's how you'll start to know about your psychic self. So, coming back once again, hello everybody. And so, I hope that this evening's lecture will help to inspire you to get to know and to learn more about you and about yourself and about your energy. And then not only just your energy, but get to learn more about you as a person, as a spirit, as an energy being. Get to learn more about what makes you tick. What makes you who you are? Feeling yourself in another way. Feeling the essence of you. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you for being here, Mommy. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night. I'll be speaking with you and seeing you hopefully soon. Get a sense of who and what you are. Your energy is you. Your energy is spirit. Your energy is your consciousness. Your energy is more than just this physical thing. Your energy is you. It isn't just about what you can do here and how good you can become at doing things or whatever. It's about expanding that energy outwardly, getting in tap with spirit, in tap with the universe. That sounds like something that really is a fantasy, but it's not. Working with spirit means bringing your energy outwardly, moving it forward to spirit, to connect beyond, to connect with the source of creation, with the God force, connecting with spirit, getting that feeling, that essence, that knowing of spirit, of higher consciousness, of connecting with the source of creation, of God, higher power, whatever you call a higher power to be, getting that connection. It's always there with you, even if you're not aware of it, if you're not conscious of it, it's always there with you. And it's just getting to know it, know you. I really can't say anything more. I think I've said everything I've had to for this evening. I really don't know what else to say to you. But this is about psychic self and getting into you and getting that sense and that feeling and knowing your own power, knowing you. That's what it is about. And then just letting it go free. Thank you so much for joining me this evening on this program. And I hope that this was beneficial and helpful to any of you out there. You can certainly write to me, on Facebook, on my page, once again, De Angelis Colon, Transpsychic Express. You can use Messenger for that. You can connect with me through the YouTube channel, Metaphysical Communion as well. There's a chat there. You can send a message there also. And just, I hope that you do get a spark of light here and that it helps you illuminate and brighten you more and more, through all of this. You're so welcome, Trey. Thank you for being here, for seeing this also. And in regards to your question about Reiki practitioners, there are some wonderful organizations. Going to Reiki.com, for instance, and they have accredited Reiki practitioners there that you can connect with right there in your home borough. So that is a very good way to start. They will give you accredited Reiki practitioners there. Let me see. Just look into that. I'll see if I can send you some resources as well. Also, I know there's a place in Brooklyn called the Third Root. I hope it is still there in Brooklyn. It's near Cortelyou Avenue in Brooklyn. And it is a wonderful metaphysical center. Again, because I haven't been there since the pandemic, so I just hope that they're still there. But you can do a Google search for the Third Root Metaphysical Center or so in Cortelyou Avenue. And they're a wonderful center there. They sell a lot of things there. And they also have classes or had classes there. And they had certainly Reiki, there. So you can look into that and see if you can connect with them. They do have a website, The Third Root. I do believe it's still called thethirdroot.com. So look into that. They're a wonderful resource that you can connect with there, okay? And I'll see if there's some others that I can get for you also. So once again, please use tonight's teachings to help inspire you, to give a spark of energy, to help raise your consciousness to another level. Let it be the inspiration to raise your energy, your connection to another level. Hopefully it will get you to do what you need to do. It'll be inspiration for you to tap into that, do a little more meditation, do a little more meditative work, do a little bit more energy healing, get to know your energies a bit more through simple exercise and practice. And you will see sooner than you realize how you start to get more of a sense of you. You feel more alive, more present, but more connected with spirit. And it is always with you. So on that note, have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful solar eclipse, new moon. We're in the midst of it now as I speak. It'll be from tonight into tomorrow. New beginnings and a fresh start for everyone. It is our last new moon of the year. Let it be open and let it start to be the catalyst to bring new blessings and new things into your lives. Have a glorious week. I should be back next week with an amazing program. I'm planning something very special, very different from tonight. Hopefully you'll find it fascinating and interesting. So on that note, everyone, blessings to you and good night.